For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show for this Saturday morning. It's the 21st day of June. And let me apologize. I thought I had a mic and the mic is turned off. So I don't know where everything coming through. But when you're not in the studio, sometimes things work a little bit different from they are supposed to work. But welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Call up everybody. People I'm in the chat room ready. Where's my glasses? Where is my glasses? So I can see where the people I'm in the chat room attack. Georgia Lindsay, no sound. No sound. Well, I don't. You say you have no sound. Good morning. See you talking, but no sound. Well, I'm happy that you didn't hear. Because what I was talking before was my personal business. I mean, I don't know how it was coming out, Georgia. But you're hearing me now. All right. Happy to know that you're hearing me now. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This is the morning that we are going to be talking to Philip Paulwell. And let me just give the editorial. Back in the day, when we had
with Google Workspace, you can create a Gmail account with your own domain and branding.
a monopoly, one license, like what the JPS have now. Philip Paulwell, under the leadership of Percival James Pattison, fixed that problem. And what we are enjoying in Jamaica today, with all the level of communication, broadband, internet, and all of them, something there, it was Philip Paulwell. And the brain said, Mr. Bell, from don't have a Jamaican passport, they can't fly down to Jamaica. No, it was that. It's not a Jamaican passport. It is my son that is supposed to travel, and we just realized that his passport expired. That's that. Yeah, so Philip Paulwell sought that thing out, sorted it out, and ensure that Jamaica have multiple telecommunications provider. Nigel Clark, former Minister of Finance, who leave Jamaica. Well, he never switch allegiance, but he left Jamaica, just like how the teachers leave and other people leave for greener pastures. Nigel Clark left for greener pastures. And it is said that when you're outside the game, you see the game better than when you are in the game. So Dr. Nigel Clark now outside the game and said that Jamaica and the Caribbean, and I think Jamaica, let's talk about Jamaica, have one of the highest energy bill on the planet. Our energy bill is very, very high. And we need to do something about that. The man we are expecting to fix that is Philip Paulwell, under the leadership of Mark Jefferson Golden. So people can talk all they want. Achievements are achievements. And I hear people talking about the achievements of this administration. And I challenging them every time, come tell me. Don't ask me. Because what I realize, some of the GLP children, when they come on, them ask me, if me no see where Andrew do. No, me no see it. Me no see it. You come tell me. You defend your thing. So we're going to be talking to Philip Paulwell somewhere at about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the US. Yeah, man. Morning, Colin. Will there be any jerk festival? Celine, jerk festival, the 13th of July. Yeah, man. Now, One of the big things out there that a lot of people talking about is our athletes who are switching allegiance, and our shot put champion, Sir Stoner, is now a Turkish citizen. And I say congratulations to him. A lot of people vex. I say congratulations to the man. I now vex with the man because everybody have to decide where their dinner come from. You understand? And Mr. Stoner have to decide where his dinner is coming from. Now, would I have done it? Definitely no. I wouldn't do it. But different strokes for different folks. When a man leave Jamaica and go to the United States and become a citizen, what? You curse him? We encourage our people that when they go to US, Canada, or England to get citizenship. So I say congratulations to the man, because obviously it was something that he wanted to do and him get it done. I now cuss him. Not cussing him out. Some people cussing them out. Jaden Ebert, they say he's supposed to get film passport in a couple of weeks. I'm not cussing out none of them. I heard a Safa Paulwell, and I think it was a TikTok video, saying that if his kids come up and have that talent, he would not allow them to run for Jamaica. Now, again, a Safa must know. And so who feels it, knows it. I have kids who are American citizens. If they are going to excel in athletics or anything of the sort, I don't want them to do it for Jamaica. That's what I would want. But what me I go do? What me I go do? Life is dynamic. It's not static. And when you're in a situation and things are not panning out the way you vision it and you want it to pan out, you have to make your decision, because when it comes down to the bottom line and your kids will go to school and you have medical bills to pay, people will big you up, but them not hand up the money. And if you put out a GoFundMe, them all say, then what you do with the money where you win. Hold on. Suzette Brown, 2,500 campaign dinner. Where is that happening? In Florida? I hear about that dinner, for the GLP. 2,500 US a plate. Huh? So, back to the athletes, them though. Sports, and this is where I'm going with it this morning, where a lot of people don't understand. Sports is a part of the creative industry. Sports is not running up and down and busting a sweat. It is a business. Business. Sports is entertainment. It is show business. There's no business like show business. Now I'm going to share the channel, like up the live, because we have put it right where it is this morning. And when I come here and I tell you, say, Jamaica can make 30 billion US dollars every year from the culture and the creative industry, a lot of people frown and turn up their face and say Shaka don't know what I talk about. But see, if me the name Dr. Colin Bell, everybody would have write it up. Yeah? But when me I say to you, listen to the message and stop watching Messenger. 30 billion US dollars annually we can make from the culture and the creative industry. Everything entertainment and more is culture and creative industry. So I ask you all the while, you got a cricket match, test match I play, and the stadium empty, but the players are being paid. It's a part of the creative industry. Football, cricket, boxing, wrestling, basketball, netball, you name it. All the games that people play, chess, domino, all of that is a part of the creative industry. You use your creativity. The designers, the architect, they are creatives. Billions of dollars in there. And there's nothing else on the global stage that Jamaica can claim to be in the top 5. Nothing else. When you talk about entertainment, Jamaica is in the top 5 in the world. And I tell you all the while how much money other countries are making from this industry. And Jamaica has missed the boat year after year after year because of a lack of vision and then a lack of the knowledge. So when I step forward and I show the item, and I challenge anybody to call me and tell me, say, this is not possible. And as I said all the time, if you have questions, call me and ask me. This morning, you can only call me on WhatsApp, 876-804-7072. As I said, we are outside the studio. So you only can call me on WhatsApp this morning. The culture and the creative industry is the only industry in the world that a baby can make millions legally. A baby. That is the dynamicity of the culture. That's the dynamism of the culture and the creative industry. So Stoner touched the world stage and realized I should be making more for my talent. Nobody in Jamaica is paying him any mind megawatt. Opal. Nobody pays him any mind. And therefore, the man get an offer looking for his future. Now I hear my brethren, Ralston and Simon, bring up the whole South Africa thing to it. I say that is orange and apples. The South Africa situation was different. South Africa, when the cricketers went down there, was different. Because South Africa was oppressing black people at the time. And a black man shouldn't go down there about the name honorary white. That's why the black man them go down the most of them suffer. Deservingly. Because as I always say, injustice to one of us is injustice to all of us. So when the injustice was meted out to our black brothers and sisters down there in South Africa, that was injustice to black people everywhere on the planet. So if some black man go down there and take a passport, say them an honorary white, they are a set of sellout. Sellout. Hello, good morning. Wagwan. Tomorrow is what? Yeah, man. You see, this is not. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. If you have me on speaker, take me off the speaker. Or if you have in a headpiece in your phone, take it out for me. Yeah. Yes, man. It is. Not almost 14 out of the 18. Setting the record straight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks. Yeah, man. Well, you see, this 18 year that the GLP love to talk about is 18 years that we also love to talk about. But you see, when they come out and run them out about the 18 years, a lot of people, because you're hearing them at that time, say that the PNP not talking. Yeah, they said that the PNP not talking. But we do talk. We do talk. And the truth of the matter is, labor rights love come out loud and make a whole heap of noise about things that are not true. Yeah? If you hear they come out, they talk about Cornwall Regional like there's nothing wrong with it. They are very good at propagandas and lies. And as I was just saying earlier, that I realized when they call me, they want me to tell them what Andrew do because they don't know what Andrew do either. Yeah? They don't know what Andrew do. Yeah, I've been seeing the chat about the caller sounding very low. So I try to sort that out, hoping that we have it better now and you can all hear when the callers call. As I said, we're not in the studio, so we don't have the kind of equipment that we have in the studio. And therefore, I want you to bear with me this morning. Although it's supposed to be good, there's no reason why it's not supposed, why it should not be good, you know, because we have some of the necessary equipment to make it good. The number to call is 876-804-7072. Fix the audio caller that it can be clear like yours. All right. So hopefully we have it sorted out now where we can hear the callers better. Now, my people, we were talking about the culture and the creative industry. And it is important for me to talk about that industry because that is one of the industries that the next PNP administration will be looking at to grow the Jamaican economy. Whole heap of money in it. It's valued at $3 trillion on the global stage. And if Jamaica, as I said, when you talk about culture and creative industry, Jamaica is in the top 5 countries in the world. We have a competitive edge, but we have not been earning the money to show that competitive edge. So what the next PNP administration is going to do in our first term, aim to make 1% of the culture and creative industry. And already $1 billion Jamaican has been committed as a fund to assist creatives. Now, if you look at Jamaica, and people who live in Portland and Kingston would know, when you have a movie, one of those big movies, being filmed in your neck of the woods, it's crazy money into your economy. And I just want to give you an imagination this morning. Just imagine 10 movies being filmed in Jamaica at the same time. What would that do to the economy? Even 5 being filmed at the same time. What would that do to the Jamaican economy? We are saying to party promoters, people put on festival, if you have a good event, we are going to create that environment that somebody will pay you for that event even before the day of the event. That when you put on that event, you can't lose. Milk River have spa. Salt River have a beach. Listen, we have a lot in Jamaica. We should not be a poor country. But Mark Jefferson Golden coming to politics with business experience. It's not like Andrew Holness who came into politics as a pauper. Mark Golden coming with business experience. Andrew had to learn on the job. Yeah? We go and get a man with experience in managing the books, managing the profits, ensuring that we make a profit. So, I hear the talk about PNP where use taxpayers' money to fund TikTokers. They are saying that because they simply don't understand how this works. TikTokers create content. In the culture and the creative industry, content is king. So it's not just TikTokers. It is anybody who creates content will have a chance to get money out of the billion. If a man have a song and he wants to do a music video,
step into Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises. Kick off project.
If a youth start make beats, rhythm, and he wants to put a studio in his house or build a studio, he will be able to get money from that fund. If you want to set up an entertainment zone and you can put your plan together, a business plan, you will be able to get money from that fund. If you write a movie and you want to film that movie, you will be able to get money from that fund. So it's a fund for culture, for the creatives. Not just TikTokers, but yes, TikTokers can get money from it too. If you're developing the right kind of content. If you're on YouTube and you're developing the right kind of content and you think structure, you can get money from the fund. And it is not a one-off thing. And that is the beginning, because we intend to invest in this industry so that we can start earning that $30 billion. We're not going to reach 30 billion one time. But just imagine the year when Jamaica can step forward and say, we have earned 5 billion US from the culture and the creative industry. And the next year, so we earn 7 billion US from the culture and the creative industry. And so we start grow it. So we have a plan to grow the Jamaican economy. So every person who have good ideas, who want to create something, if you want to design a clothesline, there's money in that fund for you. If you come up with some animation and you want to come up with a cartoon series, there is money in that for you. So don't make nobody tell you no foolishness, because there's none so blind than he who refuse to see. And we have seen what is happening. Will you build Jamaica Music Hall of Fame? So let me tell you what that is. I don't know if you're just joining this platform, and if you're just joining, please subscribe. We will not build Jamaica Music Hall of Fame. We will build a World Reggae Park. So if you want to call that our version of the Music Hall of Fame, we will build the World Reggae Park on Navy Island. We are all reggae icon, living and dead. We'll have a statue, a digitized statue. You understand? Trenchtown have its role to play as the original place for reggae, Dalton. But Navy Island will be that sophisticated 5-star area. We have the reggae park, you have the reggae hotel. The rooms named after the reggae artists. Yeah? We legalize marijuana over there. Well, brand Jamaica, I hear a whole heap of things about Navy Island. But the Jamaican people, in a couple of days, will have the opportunity to decide what happened to Navy Island, what happened to anywhere in Jamaica. So we have to be careful. And the Prime Minister tell the people, use your vote wisely. Because anything the Prime Minister couldn't deliver in the 9 years, he can't deliver it again. can't deliver it again. Jamaica won't be a better country if we don't get rid of these vagabonds. Yeah, we have to get rid of them. Time come for a new direction. That's why we mean when we say time come. That's what we mean when we say time come for change. And I agree that we must choose Jamaica. Because for the last 9 years, these people have not chosen Jamaica. They have not chosen Jamaica. And we can show you. There is also now news out about another 60 buses arriving in Jamaica. And as good as that is, it shows how bad this government has handled the country's business. Because when they came to power in 2016, we had 450 buses rolling out every day. And because of a lack of attention and incompetence, they mashed up the whole fleet till we went down to about 100 odd, so they have to go buy 100 buses one time, when we could have been buying 20 and 30 a year and keep the rolling stock going. But they sat down and watched everything crash till they have to go buy 100 one time, and then they might beat them chest. You know, there's this story now big out there about people who create problems and then they go fix it and say then great. Rubbish! You create a problem so you can fix something, and then you try to tell me about you're great. You're worthless. Worthless. So I want to understand the next big thing that the PNP is looking at for Jamaica is the logistics hub. Jamaica, geographically blessed with where we are on the map. And this government again got the blueprint about the logistics hub, but they sat down and did nothing. Did nothing. And you see, COVID came and they learned nothing from COVID. Nothing. Because not even the student them will never get to go to school in a COVID. They never realized that there would be a need for special attention for the student after COVID-19. And them never really pay the youth them no mind. And now we're screaming blue murder about how many of these youth can't read and write. And I hear something in the news this morning that shocked me. The Minister of Education saying that they are going to put something in the PEP exam to mark the youth them if them can read and do maths. So that not in a PEP? How? How that fit in a PEP? But then I hear Damian Crawford said the President Minister don't understand it because the President Minister said they're going to put back reading in the curriculum, which reading is in there. Ah, boy. Incompetence is on show in Jamaica, yeah? Look at agriculture. Agriculture is down. That is also one of the pillars that the PNP is going to use to grow Jamaica. And I want to go back to the bus thing because there's something about this bus thing where I need to tell them. So I see they carrying the school buses. And I endorse school buses. I do endorse the old bus them. But I endorse school buses. But what I'll say to Jamaica is that the PNP have a better plan. Because one school bus or two school buses in Portland not going to impact a lot of the children who are in need. So the PNP is coming with a card system. You're going to get children going to get a smart card that they will be able to use. Taxi operators will have to get the card machine. And these cards will be time sensitive. These cards can only be used at a certain time of the day because we know what time the children are supposed to be traveling. So there will be a 2-hour span in the morning and a 2-hour span in the evening which the cards can use. After that, that card can use for the day. Those cards won't be able to be used in the summer either And those cards would also help us to track where our children are, what time they leave for school. Yeah? And those cards will be tapped up by the government so that the children can go to school without worrying about bus fare. This now will impact a larger percentage of our students. So, if you live in England and in Canada, you'd understand that card system. That even elderly in England, them get the card for free. Them don't pay a bus fare. Them just go, tap them card. But what we are going to do is hello, good morning out of the United Kingdom. What go on, brother? Yeah, talk to me. Of course. What can I call you? Well, I do. I don't know if everybody does, but I do. And I know a lot of people do. Hold on, caller. Because let me try and fix this call system, yeah. But people them say them not hear the caller properly. So let me see if it works better this way. Go ahead now, caller.
Would you travel to a foreign country to pick up a bus that was in the dump?
Hold on. Because me have to hear you too. Yeah, what you say now?
My question is, would you travel to America to pick up a bus or whatever to put your kids in to travel to school? You can put all on the kids.
Well, it is happening in Jamaica right now.
Well, that's a question I'm putting to you. The people of Portland do not put any value on the kids, because if they did, they would not allow the kids to travel in a bus, which is what's in a dump, to go to school.
Well, so are you saying that those buses were in dump? But we don't use used car from Japan and America and everywhere.
Yes, but also the question is, do you put a value in your kid? That's a question. Because if you put a value in your kid, you do not put your kids into something which is with a possibility it can run off the road and kill them. Well,
as I said, I do put value.
Because the parts are worn out parts.
Hold on. Hold on. Fix the mic with the caller. Just want to ask the people in the chat room if they are hearing the caller any better now. So, you are saying that those buses were in the dump in America?
Yes, they were. And I mean, they wear and tear. They wear and tear, and the possibility they can fall off the road and kill the kids.
Boy, let's hope that don't happen. Let's really hope that never happens. But
if you put all your kids, you don't put the kids on the bus. You take the bus, make sure they take them off the road. Why should you go take taxpayer money and go buy a piece of junk?
Use bus.
Now, the people of Portland should stand up on their legs and say, no, I'm not putting my kid in no junk. Okay, we'll have a road. A part break off and they see me down the cliff with my kids.
Well, they do some work on them, They do some work on them. I don't like the idea. I am upset about it. And especially that the first, well, some people hearing, some people not hearing. Gilly said much better. One man said loud and clear. Colin said no.
My question is, Colin, that the people, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I am hearing you.
The people of Portland must put a value on the children and not put the children life at risk. And I warn out bus we can run off the road because of faulty parts.
Okay.
Because normally, if you're going to buy an old bus and then fix it up, what can you do to a bus that is falling apart? What can you fix in it?
But isn't it a fact though that America don't use those buses until they are in the ground. When they stop them, they still have some use.
Should the government go sell to America, take taxpayers' money, and we buy our own bus? Why couldn't we buy a brand new bus?
Well, that is my argument. I was hoping for new buses. They are buying new buses, but the problem is, Carla, is that the government had allowed JUTC to run down so bad that they have to buy 100 buses one time, and 100 buses is a whole heap of money.
Listen, Colin, you can get 100 bus at a good price as if you buy it from dealers. The point is, this is your future children.
Yeah.
You cannot put your kids on a wheel and bus. You see where you can fault and run off the road. To your kids.
All right, my brother. Respect and thanks for the call. Hello? 804-7072. I'll make certain this phone line properly when we get Philip Paulwell on this morning, because what we're going to be talking to Philip Paulwell about, low, not too clear. I don't understand. Some people getting it good, some people not getting it so good. But we're trying our best with the phone system this morning, trying to make certain that it work out. So, yeah. But these buses don't come with no air condition either. That's one of the problem I have. Some say it is very loud on my end. So maybe me just ask you if you turn up on a system, everybody just put a little more volume on your system. You know? But my people, I see Pringle that called me a while ago, and Pringle is a man where, when I was going to school, Pringle was a school bus operator. Let me hear what him have to say. Pringle used to run Port Maria Special. Yeah, man.
Hello?
Pringle. Yeah, man, what go on?
You remember when Castro did come to Jamaica?
How long ago that?
Maybe you want to see about it.
Possibly.
And when PNP didn't come in a power.
Well, at the only time that Castro could have come to Jamaica.
And he said he was surprised to see the houses on the level land. Right?
Yes.
The PNP policy is not to make houses on the level land.
Well, that is what is happening in Jamaica now. You know, the government are planting concrete on the horrible lands.
And I'm saying, I hope the PNP don't do that too.
No, but you know, the PNP is a progressive party, Pringle. And one of the things that the party leader told us in his budget presentation, that within our first term, we are going to cut the food importation bill by 25%. That must means that we are going to produce more of our own food.
My reason why I call you and say it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you on the radio.
All right.
And I hope when them make the housing to house them, then they make them for half acre land that the people them can do like a backyard gardening.
Can chuck something around our back.
Can't even walk on it. There's enough land to give the people them some land where can plant them cucumber, then cabbage, them little things around them place.
Yes.
Right? What do you say about that?
Of course. No, well, one of the things that the PNP is also proposing to, you know, because remember the housing trust have a thing named build and own land. But the PNP is also proposing to give people land, you know. And you know, that's one of the things where PNP normally do. So what you are suggesting now, let's give half acre instead of give 2.5 square.
Easy.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me now. You see with the most thing, I always say it, whether PNP or Labour, right?
Yeah.
You see me Usman them. Government not busy them, you know. With a PNP or labor, you know. And you see what I go and read this box them. Sorry for Usman them, you know.
Well, no.
You see where them holding for box. When they come in operation, we all them and with them course on them, but so them all read them.
No, only purpose not there doing a Pringle, no, make them fool you know.
But those that are here,
It's not enough.
the small man them, we are on them bus. And then car. Where them all do with them?
All right. So the plan that the PNP have, Pringle, is a program that is called.
I'm not talking about PNP. I'm talking about right now because PNP and labor right. Two of them almost upon the same.
No, brother. No. We're better than them.
They are
Almost. No. Me think we're far right of them.
Almost. The PNP a little bit better than the labor right with them policy, but them almost just like up America, the Republican and the Democrat. If you put one nigger man, see Democrat him almost I don't like the Republican man I do. I saw a world I run. And if me was leader of the minibus business or a coaster bus business, you see right now with all the only purpose of them again, they must give me a good policy to strike.
But you what the people. Well, me. No, but I can only tell you what the PNP is planning to do. We have a program that is called EASE. And what we plan to do is to give school children a smart card. And taxi operators, bus operators will have their machine. And the children will be able to travel with them at no cost to the children using their smart card. So that is our plan to ensure that everybody live. But for the KMTR, we don't have enough bus. In 2016, we had over 450 buses. We don't reach 300 buses yet. All you hear them are go on and a buy and a go on because they are allowed the bus system to run to a wreck.
We know that. Presently, I know with this one, we must 60 and if you get this, and if you get that, and if you get the other.
Yeah, man, but you
still, I ain't about any authority. Me a call a big strike till them give. I think we have good policy.
Well, the election soon come and the PNP have the right policy. I'm going to take our next call, do a pretty little more. Good morning, welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Where are you, man? Yes, morning.
Morning, boss.
Yeah, man, we are here.
All right. Yeah, make two quick points because me been a follow your thing. I'm a all the time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, me. Listen. Them talk about them achievement. All them achievement is PNP blueprint in America. PNP done having.
Yeah, they're not coming nothing for themselves yet.
Me know that. Everything we see, they must have them achieve and them do. It was there and planned before from PNP in thought. Me know say Jamaica produce the best things in the world because we live in Canada right now. I tell you. The thing that come from South America. And in other part of the world, them I can't get a few young things. They can't get a good plan in a store over for if you go in a store and see plan, I look at them up, them still in the house, they'll have money and top. Still them bread and spoil.
Can't right.
Can't right.
Oh, wait.
One of them not this. And everything. We are Jamaica in abundance. We come to our country.
Yeah.
Tell us to our but them are good. Them is no good quality. If you have a good dry coconut, you see mango, them sour, them are good. I be a young carbine things in the store apparent. Jamaica things them carry the ice price. Like yellow yam. Anything Jamaica, you go in a store and say you want it. You carry ice price in the store.
But you can't get enough of it.
Looking to skyrocket your YouTube channel? Let Sprizzy boost you to the top. Using YouTube ads, Sprizzy targets.
Where's the money? I'm not sure they farm them.
Yeah.
It's them now. The farmer them will try. It's like them now help them market them things.
And that's why I'm quarrel. That's why I'm quarrel when we see this government take up $11.4 billion and give it to 20,000 instead of tapping up our farmers, giving our farmers cheap loan so that they can produce more. And you could have used that money as a revolving fund to really get our farmers, because all we have in Jamaica is small farmers, you know. We have more than maybe about 2 or 3 large farmers in Jamaica, you know.
When you're a farmer and a joke thing, you know.
How we are talking about, man? Them in a seat, brother.
When you plant Irish or you plant red peas or you plant grass, make everything cow. A big acres, you know.
Yes, yes, man. Farmers are big people. In fact, hold on. I heard Hubert Williams, the MP candidate for Western St. Thomas, said that when the PNP come in power, he wants coffee farmers to get $22,000 a box. And Favour Williams said, boy, he might trick the poor farmer them. Farmers ought not to be poor.
Western St. Thomas, rich man, up at the hills.
Yeah.
So, we know about all the coffee things. I mean, plant coffee, and when we see the amount of money and the amount of work with that thing, we just know it.
Yeah.
Because remember, saying, Jamaica Labour Party is a belly full party, you know.
Oh,
Jamaica
God.
Labour Party is a grassroots Jamaica, you know. Me and you, or me and you, we know them thing, you know.
Yeah.
Upper echelon, you know, the half-white Jamaican, you know. And for poor people, where you see I run my car about shower labor right now, them for no say, more than a belly full of night in a night for them, you know.
They don't understand, man. They don't understand.
You're a party of straighten people. You're a party of straighten the regular man. And the rich, we have it already. So back from after this is them deal with Papa me and you know that. Because up in my place, I'm a band. I'm a 53-year-old now. I two time you never fix. They were on the 80s. Anthony Hilton got fixed in 2002. And that.
No fix again.
And I got showed him a sign. Because look up progress stuff come. And the man just fix the road. And the vote out the man face boy when I was not in the parish. And as they vote out the man, when they was the water company road, I might come in there. And the water just jump on the road and mash up everything.
I hear you, sir.
A shower in come and we will jump on the road. And everything. And ever since then, this wicked man they're St. Thomas. Almost 30 years now. I mean, I tell you.
It's rough, my brother. All right, sir. No respect and thanks.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man. 876-804-7072. I don't need to ask, you know, if the callers are sounding much better. I know that they are sounding better now. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Yes, sir.
Yeah, morning. Listen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hear you speaking about the creative industry. You know, so when gold was running, we miss a big opportunity.
Yeah, man, massive.
Between 2007 to about 2016, we miss a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Because world should give us leverage, you know.
Yeah. No, hold on. You said something. Women are agree. They say he should give us leverage. He gave us the leverage, but we did not use it. And a board for use the leverage. And a board supposed to use the leverage, you know. It is your government now that was supposed to create now another environment that leverage by UCA board could have been used to lift a lot of other people.
I look at our stadium. I'm saying that we're not 21st century now. As I said before, if we have like a World Day and Sugar and Fraser and Veronica Campbell, these are it. And you can imagine if we had used the leverage that we have, we could have built the stadium. At least we could get some groups fans and some people coming to build up the stadium. Because I believe that stadium should be a world class stadium.
Listen.
We can have at least 70 to 80,000 people people are holding that freedom and in fact keeping some big games.
Any project that you did with Usain Bolt those time, you would have get big sponsorship. Everybody would have want to be a part of it. But as I said, we did not use the leverage.
Yeah, because they see us as a spring capital, so we have a big leverage over the country, basically.
Yeah, man.
We would get good sponsors. My next point is that the TNT Mayo and the Patriot.
Yeah.
What they're doing is a really good thing.
Yes.
Because what is missing in politics and what is going on is that the young people are not being engaged.
Thank you.
I see that. I mean, the young people are not politicians, nobody are coming to engage if they feel good, like young people group, just like we have a church, we have the young people service at church. You know.
But hold on, but you know said it is mandated by the party that every division must have a Y or a youth group.
I have never seen that before. Never.
Yeah, man. Well, all right. I'm gonna tell you something. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. You see, St. Mary is very strong now because St. Mary Youth Group up and running vibrant. And that is why St. Mary, all 3 seats in St. Mary, will go to the People's National Party in the upcoming election because St. Mary have a vibrant youth organization.
And that is what, remember now, we're talking about the future. Because you see, the whole set of people, them just like I said, when I cheat, you can't bend it. These whole set of people, you can't bend them.
No.
So that's why they have to focus on the young people, because young people, they're looking at opportunities, they're looking at work.
Let me tell you something. Anything that you're planning to grow, that you want to see, that you have a vision for the future, you have to start with the young people. And I tell people that Titchfield High School start winning school challenge quiz because yours truly started a program that we call the Portland Primary School Quiz Competition. And we started this before TVJ at Junior School Quiz Competition. And when Titchfield got to the first final, all team members came through that system. So if you really want to build something for the future, you have to get the youths on board. And you have to continue with them, that conveyor belt. That is where you teach. That is where you teach people. If you even want to call it indoctrination, and that's where you indoctrinate them from.
Yeah, so that is, as I said, I had to commend them. Even the rally that they have, I mean, I've never seen this thing before.
Yeah, man. And that's why we have to say respect to Mark Golden, because he's building back the party. Building back the core values of the party.
Because you have to get young people because they are the futures, and I really have to commend them. And I want to see it also in my community. Mrs. Bailey. We need to have these things in our community. So I would name also just like all the MP and MP candidates. This is the way to go.
All right. All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks. All right. Yeah, man. So the youth are the future. And it's the only way, that is the way to go. The youths, they are the future. And if you're really serious about growth, Ed boy, let me call him up because I'm going to get Philip Paulwell on the line now. So let me call you back. Yeah. And we have to try something else, because we have to make certain that we can hear Philip Paulwell on the line, because energy is critical to Jamaica. Energy is critical to Jamaica. So I'm giving Sir Paulwell a minute or two. Seems like Oh, wow. Yeah. Energy is critical. We can't do manufacturing if our energy cost is so high. We can't compete. So we have to get the energy costs down. When the PNP was last in power, energy was about 20 to 25 cents per kilowatt hour. Now we are between 40 cents and 50 cents US per kilowatt hour. That's what our people are paying for energy in Jamaica. Light bill, we're talking about. Your light bill. That is what we're talking about. Your light bill is too high. And we can't continue with that kind of light bill if we really are going to compete on the world stage. If we are going to compete on the world stage. Sir Paulwell, good morning.
Good morning.
I know I'd give you another number to call you from, but I think this number going to work, going to serve us better.
No problem. No problem.
Welcome to Portland Spice TV, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Good to be on, and I'm happy to be able to share with your listeners.
Well, I did the advert, and I said to the people in the advert, when Jamaica had a telecommunication problem, Philip Paulwell and the People's National Party solved the problem. We are now in an energy crisis. And I am expecting that you, sir, like you did with the telecommunications in Jamaica, that you will fix the energy problem. Am I right?
I think you are correct without, sounding immodest, without sounding arrogant. I would say that we are actually in a better position than we were in when we challenged cable and wireless and decided that Jamaica couldn't live any longer with a monopoly telecom provider, and that if we were going to benefit from the world of technology, we would have to do massive transformation, which is what we did with the renegotiation of that license. By the way, that license would have continued, that monopoly license would have continued to the year 2038.
Oh, yeah.
If we did not,
So
the situation and had new licenses issued on the new arrangements
that
facilitated competition.
So hold on, Comrade Paulwell, because I call you comrade, because me and you are comrade, and me not hide my side. When people say that if Philip Paulwell never do it, it would have do anyway, that is rubbish.
It's absolute nonsense. The cable and wireless actually took me to court.
I know.
To try to enforce the terms of the license. And it wasn't true because, it was only because of certain strategies that we used to ensure that the public was fully supportive. We also had to make international appeals to the British government and others. And we did a massive public education program in Jamaica. And I think when they saw the writings on the wall, then they came to the negotiation table. And at that time, I was able to exert tremendous influence over the process. So that we basically got what we wanted, and Jamaica became the world model. After we secured that deal with Cable and Wireless, when I went to the International Telecommunications Union conference, and they do an annual conference, I was like a rock star, because all countries that had similar problems, and the common denominator there in many of the countries was cable and wireless.
Yes.
They turned to Jamaica. They looked to the Jamaican model. In fact, the entire CARICOM to use the Jamaican model, and other countries across the globe to get out of their monopoly situation.
Oh, beautiful. So again, Jamaica lead in doing what you did. No.
Yes. We were able to demonstrate, because even cable and wireless was saying, well, this is going to lead to chaos. We're going to mash up telecoms as we know it in Jamaica, and people are not going to be able to make calls overseas, and we are going to deny Jamaicans of this facility. That was what was being predicted.
Frightening the people.
fact, we made certain predictions, like what you're seeing now with the WhatsApp calls.
Yes.
I predicted that one day we were going to come to a situation where people are going to be able to talk
Free.
not using the regular system, but using the connectivity that we were establishing, and that it will be free. And nobody believed, but today that's where we're at.
Well, cable and wireless telecommunication in Jamaica is now at first world standard, would you say?
I would say up to 2060, and I'm not trying to be partisan, but I don't think enough attention has been maintained to ensure that the standards that we set, Jamaica in 2015, was one of the leading telecoms destinations because we had access to the 3 latest technologies available at the time.
Yeah.
And since that time, the world has moved on. People have 4G, people have 5G. Jamaica has not yet reached there. We were intending when we established Universal Service Fund, and you hear these people now are boasting about 3 community access points. That was not where we wanted to take universal service. We wanted to make sure that in every public space in Jamaica, you had free or you have free Wi-Fi connectivity. So if you're traveling from Kingston to Montego Bay,
Yeah.
you'll have free Wi-Fi broadband capacity. That was the intention behind Universal Service Fund. In the 2 years when we established USF, we had raised $14 billion.
So,
You know, so if we didn't have a change of government, trust me, the celebration of these 1-1 community free access Wi-Fi point, so that really would be considered minuscule.
but
in terms of the overall vision.
But when this minister is celebrating these hotspot areas, aren't those something that you left there?
Of course, the entire Universal Service Fund was to enable Jamaicans who couldn't afford connectivity. Because remember, we had moved away from just talking on telephones now.
Yes.
Right? It was to enable us to be a part of the information world where broadband is gold. And we therefore wanted to make sure that wherever you live in Jamaica, you could, if you could not afford it, you would not be denied it.
Right.
And that's why the free Wi-Fi concept was really to enable in every public space. If you're in your home, that's a different matter. But once you touch the streets, children could be able to stay outside, go in the community center, anywhere, and do their homework, and so on and so forth. That was the intention behind Universal Service Fund. So what is happening now is really a step down, a far step down from the true intent of Universal Service Fund.
So like you plant a tree and you were watering it, it was growing beautiful, and then all of a sudden they stop water it, stop care for it, so the tree gets stagnant. Is that what you're liking our telecommunication system to right now?
It got stunted.
Got
so
stunted.
We as a new government will have to go back to that trajectory that we had established. Certain things have changed, so we have to look back at how we deal with Universal Service Fund, how it is funded, without putting taxes on Jamaicans, and that's a commitment. We also have to look now at the technologies that are now available. You know, the world of AI, I don't even think we have begun to understand the impact of artificial intelligence.
No.
And what that is going to do. This is another revolution that is happening, and we are not on board as yet.
Oh Lord. Right? Oh Lord.
And that is going to require even greater bandwidth capacity.
Yes.
It's going to require tremendous more energy, which has to be cheaper, much cheaper than we have now. And I know our discussion today is about energy.
Well, that is right where we're going, but we couldn't pass without talking about your record, because when I did the ad and said you are going to fix it, I remind people that what you have done before. So we're not coming with a rookie who never take on large conglomerate. You took on telephone company of Jamaica, cable and wireless at the time. Maybe
international company.
Right. So you're not no rookie to this. So let's now look at energy, Sir Paul. When you left office in 2016, we were paying between 20 and 25 cents per kilowatt hour. We are now up to about between 40 and 50 cents per kilowatt hour. We're talking about US. Where you want to get us to in our first term, and how you're going to take us there?
Yes, so we were actually at about 23 US cents per kilowatt hour, and now, depending on which month you do the calculation, it's anywhere from 40 to 50 cents per kilowatt hour. I believe that a similar approach as we took with telecommunications will have to be done, and so it can't be piecemeal. It has to be comprehensive and almost a revolution. And I'm equally excited that we are going to be able to achieve setting up new records and Jamaica becoming a model of how you can take a system that is stagnated by way of a monopoly provider and to graduate and to open it up. So not only large corporations will be able to come to Jamaica, but you as an individual,
yes,
you are going to become under our next regime a generator of electricity.
Talk to me.
To have power into your hand.
Talk to me.
Yes, so it requires some immediate things. Unlike the cable wireless license that had so many years to run, this license expires in 2027. But you don't have to wait to 2027 to effect certain changes because you have leverage. And by right, by the 7th of July this year, the license says that the government of Jamaica must indicate to JPSCO what its intentions are. The 7th of July is less than a month away, you know. And I know that this government hasn't even begun to look at some of the details.
But the minister said he wrote to JPS from January.
Well, I know I'm about how you negotiate matters.
Yes.
And before you engage JPS, so you really ought to have a plan.
Hallelujah.
We have a blueprint for that. I could show them.
Yes.
How we were able to do it. You can't go into a negotiations with JPSCO, and they do have two major international partners, without knowing what you're about. And I can guarantee you that this government isn't clear. I gave them some ideas last year and again this year as to how to approach the negotiations, what to ask for, and so on. But nobody's taking me on. I believe that we have an excellent opportunity to modify the agreement to incorporate a number of the fundamental changes that we are proposing. And in fact, there are some changes that you don't need to wait on. And the most basic has to do with the 300,000 households that today steal electricity.
300,000.
Yeah, man. Whenever you go to pay your electricity bill, you pay whatever you're paying. 20% of that has to do with those persons who are stealing the electricity, and that is, they're not paying for it. You have to pay. So you're like.
So that's how they're growing so fast. They're hiring freelancers. Look what they're doing with AI experts.
By 20%.
So hold on. How many of us are paying? Like you said, 300,000 homes are not paying, they are stealing. How many homes are paying?
You have about between 400 and 500,000. So
500,000 of us are paying for another 300,000 that we don't get none of those that light.
Precisely.
And you're saying that's 20% of our light bill.
20%, yes, because these are poorer communities. They really don't use as much electricity as other communities. So they would have a one fridge, they have lighting that they do,
so
a little TV.
So let me simplify something. If your light bill is $20,000, $2,000 out of that is for people who have cheap electricity.
No, that the $2,000 is 10%.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. It's 20%. I said, so double that.
So it's $4,000. Sorry, $4,000 out of it. So I use the 20,000 because my light bill is about $22,000 a month. So 4,500 out of my light bill is for a man where I throw up.
It's not you use it. It's not you use it. Somebody else use it.
Tell her.
Somebody else use it.
So how you going to fix that so fast? Because you're saying if we fix that right away, we light bill gone down by 20%.
Right. And let me say, this is going to happen in our first term.
Yes, sir.
You can't do, yes. What we intend to do is to use the tremendous resource of solar that has seen the technology improve dramatically over time.
Yes.
The price has been reduced significantly, and very importantly, you now have storage by way of batteries.
Yes.
That can enable you to install this facility on your roof.
Yes.
We could establish micro systems in communities. But you know, in 2015 we imposed a hedge fund tax.
Yes.
The government collects about $7 billion
every year.
Right. And the aim of this tax was to do exactly what I'm talking about. And it has not happened. And I think we have to go back.
But hold on. Don't just say it has not happened, because they are still collecting that hedge fund. The government still collects it.
It goes straight into the consolidated fund. So yes, it is still being collected, but not used for the purpose for which it was intended. So that has to be corrected. So you have a source of funding.
Apparently, Portland Spice TV is having some technical difficulties, some internet difficulties. Has nothing to do with the Make We Talk program. They're having some problem over their end. Don't know what's going on, but don't know what's going on. I'm still gonna have this up to see what's going on.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural Reconnection Rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
Justice! Me need justice! Me want justice for me son! Me need ya! Me want help! Me want help! To fight the battle!
Marcia Bailey's cry.
Daryl Vaz, Jamaica will not sit with you and Christopherton and Floyd Green and Colonel Charles Jr. and Fayeval and Dana Morris and Matthew Samuda. Who going to stick with the evil? Who going to stick with them thief ya? Who going to stick with the thief them Jamaica? Who going to stick with them scammer ya? And as a matter of fact, Daryl, what do you mean by people bad mind? Daryl, what do you mean by people bad mind? Bad mind you for what? You have no good antecedents for people to bad mind you on. Your history is not one where anyone would have wanted to bad mind you, Daryl. I'm asking you again, what is there to bad mind when our hospitals are like chicken coops? What is there to bad mind when our water is filled with E. coli and shit and dirty water? People can't drink healthy water again. What is there to bad mind when the road them full of pothole?
What can go so?
What is there to bad mind? We can't bad mind on you know. Jamaica needs to be rescued. Jamaica needs to be rescued, Daryl. From you, Wellness Clan, Vaz Clan, Charles Clan, all of them sort of clan there. And when you're done, you think Jamaica want to stick with a politician, where one ex-politician, what's money? $20 million another company, media can say, you know, what the people then?
Help. We need out of the rhetoric.
We need a divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights.
So when I see you come, Daryl, we're tired of the murderer over the Labour Party. We're tired of the rapists them and the pedophiles and the sex offenders in the Labour Party. We're tired of the scammers them. We're tired of the chopper them. We're tired of the you know what? Jamaica, we're not tired of them. I want to ask you. We're tired of the woman beater them. So when you're going to talk about stick to the evil way you know, I want to tell you, I can't stick with a government that has not built one school in 9 years. I can't stick with a government that hides the water sampling from its people because they know that the E. coli is in the water. Why do you think Harmony Beach in Montego Bay can't be open? Because it is filled with E. coli. But we understand so your vocabulary is limited to bad mind because you and your wife, when it comes down to the vocabulary and the lexicon, you don't really understand that.
Ball out! Whoa, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
The Prime Minister just needs to fly the gate. Call it, Andrew. Call it. And Iman will sound the trumpet.
Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
to be able to generate your own electricity at a fraction of the current cost. But not only that, in addition to enabling you to do your electricity, and remember I mentioned earlier,
yes,
one of the benefits now of storage capacity is that you're able, while the sun is shining, to have your batteries charged up and for you to be able to have them in full force after the sun goes down.
And the batteries are much improved now.
Oh, the technology has improved dramatically and the price has come down equally.
Yes.
Right? But so we want you to be able to do that. But also, we want you to be able to be in a position to supply more than you need.
Okay.
And to sell your addition. So I, as minister, will give you a license. Just like how JPS has a license.
Yes.
I'll give you a license.
Individuals.
So you can sell your additional capacity to the JPS for money.
So let me understand that. So you're saying that if I find myself with a piece of money and decide that I want to fill my house up with solar panel, I will get a license that I can sell to JPS. So that's a business.
That is a business. And we want any individual to be in such a position to do. I had started that before, you know. But this government really hasn't picked up on it.
Is that what you call net billing?
Net billing.
Talk to us.
The problem with the original net billing is that the reward that you would get as a seller of electricity wasn't enough incentive to make you want to spend the money to put in the additional capacity. What we are going to be doing now is what we call a feed-in tariff that will incentivize you to put in the additional capacity, because in any event, whatever you sell to JPS would be cheaper than they are currently getting to supply onto the grid. Yes.
So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. So currently, you have a number of what you call private power suppliers.
Yes.
And they supply the grid at various prices. We believe that solar can come in at somewhere in the region of 10 to 14 US cents to make it meaningful for you to invest in additional capacity to sell to the grid at that price.
So you'd sell to JPS at between 10 and 15 cents US.
That's correct.
And then
you're generating at a price of about 10 cents. Yeah. So you'll be able to sell the JPS in a ballpark of about 10 to 15. You'll be able to raise sufficient funds from that to liquidate the capital that you had put in the system in the first place.
So we're looking at two things here. You said over 300,000 persons are stealing electricity. Household are stealing electricity in Jamaica. If we cut that, our electricity bill would be down by 20%. You're saying that if we had no solar to the system, anybody who wants to supply to JPS, what percentage will that bring down our light bill by now? So that's 20% from the stealing. What percentage would that bring us down by?
All right. So if we were to, whether by using large scale solar generators or from a system I just mentioned to you, where individuals can supply the JPS The JPS now procure electricity from the private power people at somewhere in the region of about 20 odd cents. And of course, they add their margin and the distribution cost to bring it up to 40 cents. So if you are able to generate and sell to the JPS at 15 cents even,
right,
their price will come down substantially.
Because that's almost 10 cents less than what they're getting it for now.
Than the average price that they're getting at now. Yes. So that is why we are projecting that we have successfully, as we've done with telecommunications, brought down the cost. We are looking at somewhere in the region of a retail price of about 15 to 18 US cents per kilowatt hour. Now, that is substantially less than the 40 and 50 cents that we have now.
So that's over 100. So that's we're cutting it by half.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think if we achieve that, then I can go home and retire.
A question here, Comrade Paulwell. Yeah. Our schools across Jamaica, do we have any idea what the government pays for light bill for our schools?
An enormous amount of money. Not only our schools, our government ministries.
Hold on, I'm going to go to the hospitals too, you know. But starting with the schools, because our schools mainly operate during daytime. And our schools have large spaces on the roofs to take solar panel. When will we see our schools going fully solar under the next PNP administration?
The program that I started that was short-lived by this government of getting the entire government, starting with our schools,
yes,
to appreciate now not only conservation, but to realize that you can make money from establishing your own generation system using solar and to sell additional capacity, additional electricity to the grid. Mm-hmm. That has to become a reality. And the question you're going to ask me is, so if everybody's generating and for themselves, where is JPS going to be able to survive in this place? And you know,
but we need to survive. Is not JPS need to survive? Is the people.
Well, you know, when the question was raised of me, when we were dealing with telecommunications, and somebody asked me, so how will cable and wireless survive? and my response is that cable and wireless will take care of itself.
Yes.
I am here to take care of the people.
Yes.
Right? And you see cable and wireless is still alive now.
And well.
I'm doing well.
Yes.
There are other opportunities here. You talk about electric vehicles and the need now for greater capacity to fuel artificial intelligence and those things.
Yes.
The market is going to grow. Once the price comes down, Jamaica has become a far more prosperous place. So people are still going to need a JPS score.
And our manufacturer will be able to compete on the global stage now if we have lower electricity bill.
Listen, man, it is a circle that once you start with one end showing lower prices, it is going to revolve to the benefit of everybody, including all the producers who are here. So I have no fear for JPS and others. What I want to do is to reform the system so that the ordinary Jamaica can immediately see these benefits and access them.
The present Minister of Energy loved to point fingers at you and say that you were the one who gave JPS the license that they have now and you didn't do due diligence. Respond to him.
But first of all, I wasn't the minister who gave JPS the license. I wasn't the Minister of Energy in 2001 when the license was granted. But I can't say that it wasn't my government.
Right.
Because I was a part of the government.
Yes.
Remember at the time, the government was the sole owner and operator of the grid. And you recall those days, we would have frequent power cuts.
Yes.
Because the government was just not in a position to maintain the grid, to have spare capacity and so on.
Yeah.
And so in those days, when the government was negotiating to sell its shares in JPS to the private sector, it was a different scenario than we have today. Mm-hmm. And we pretty much had the blade and they had the handle.
Because we were begging them to take it on.
We were begging them to take it on. Begging them. So at that time, you would see 20-year license has been granted.
Yes.
Today, it's a different situation. we have the handle, and when you have the handle, you must use it in favor of your people, right? And it's not that we are going to be, reneging on agreements and we're going to be running roughshod over the private sector. But all we're saying is that our people deserve a break, and I am elected to serve the people, not to serve in a special interest or in a special company, and that has to be going forward now our mantra.
So we are looking at solar as a big thing. You were the one who brought in the wind turbine. What's their name? Upon the hill.
The Wigton Wind Farm.
Yes.
I remember when we went to the private sector. I was minister then.
Yes.
We went to the private sector and said, listen, we have
hold on. Before you're going, who was the minister in 2001? Who was the energy?
So Minister Pickersgill was there.
Bobby Pickersgill. Okay, cool. Just for information. So let's go to Wigton Wind Farm.
Wigton now, when we did a survey and found that we could viably and commercially do wind energy in Jamaica, we were trying to get the private sector to get involved and to do it. And they said, no, that thing is too risky. So we took the risk as a government.
Yes.
And we established Wigton Wind Farm. We not only did a phase 1, we did a phase 2 and a phase 3. And this government now, having come to power, see how much money was being made, decide to sell it.
Yes.
And it was sold for a good amount of money.
All right. It was sold on the open market, so any Jamaicans could have bought into it.
Yes,
now,
of course, yes.
The question is, you brought in Wigton Wind Farm as a form of renewable energy. What has this, which company this, or what has this government done as it relates to renewable since 2016?
Right, nothing much, because in addition to Wigton, I had also established the single largest solar farm at the time, and in content, Clarendon.
Yeah.
By a company called WRB, an American company.
Oh, so you didn't just do Wigton, you did more.
No, yeah, man.
Tell us about it, because them say we don't do nothing,
Well, that's nonsense. So we did. I'll tell you more than that. When we had signed the Petro-Caribbean agreement, of course, the U.S. was very concerned about the closeness with Venezuela and so on, and they brought us, both Prime Minister Bush and myself, we went to see then Vice President Biden. And so when they were expressing concern about Petro-Caribbean, we said to them, well, listen, if you want to help us on the renewable side.
Yes.
And to their credit, they did provide funding for U.S. investors to come to Jamaica. And out of that, we got the solar project at Content. Over 200 million US was invested there.
Yeah.
And then we got another wind farm in Malvern in St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
The BMR wind farm that is still there. We had actually done procurement for other renewables, which is what. So after we did the procurement, another company came on board. But it didn't come at the time when we were in office. It came during the life of the JLP government. But we did that.
But we did the contract and the arrangement and all of it.
Right. So there's nothing that this government has done, even except last year they went out after 9 years ago to procure additional capacity now for solar. And but nothing has happened.
And that has not started as yet. That has not come in.
No.
So you might be the one bringing in that.
Our government will be the one to make sure that happens.
So for the term of the Andrew Wellness-led administration, they have not done anything then to renewable. They have not gotten any renewables up by themselves.
The minister last week, when he spoke 2 weeks ago, said that our current renewable capacity is 12.5%. Of total, that was where I left it in 2016.
So they have had zero.
They have not added anything to it.
Hallelujah. But they say, and then, Comrade Paulwell, people are questioning your capacity to deal with JPS, including the minister. You have a track record of taking us out of a monopoly. JPS is another monopoly. And
this is an easier problem
than cable and wireless. Because as you said earlier, for those who are just joining us, the cable and wireless license would have done 2038, you said?
2038. We are still today 2025.
So it's still being that license, except Philip Paulwell, PJ Patterson, and the PNP was the change.
Yes, you have to pick up PJ in all of this. Because,
yes.
You know,
he gave you the latitude.
Strong support from the Prime Minister at the time, because it's not easy to go up against certain people.
And those days, cable and wireless was the powerhouse. Never a small company, was the powerhouse. Now, as we wrap up, Sir Paulwell, you said that one of your plans back then was that all government buildings and agencies would go solar. How fast you going to get that when you come back, when the PNP form the next government?
It's a no-brainer. No Minister of Finance, when I present our Minister of Finance with a proposal to fund solar for these establishments, schools and other buildings, would not see the rationale, the sense in providing budgetary support so that once you establish these facilities, you are getting a windfall from them. So I intend to go to my Minister of Finance and say, listen, it's going to cost X to get all our schools within 2 years properly solarized. And I am certain I will get the support for that, because as I show him that in 2 years, we'll not only pay that back, but there'll be much more money coming in from the additional capacity that will generate.
What would stop us from building these solar panels ourselves right here in Jamaica, Comrade Paulwell? I don't know the technology. Is it possible that we could put ourselves in a position to make these solar panels ourselves?
In 2014, nobody will believe this, but in 2014, I established NESOL. You've heard about NESOL?
Yes, we know about
National Energy Solutions, right?
Yes.
I took the chairman of NESOL and myself and a team to Cuba, because my first solar system was using panels out of Cuba. And I said to the Cubans, I want you to show how you fabricate panels, because I want to use NESOL to do it in Jamaica, but not only for Jamaica, but for the entire Caribbean.
Talk to me.
So one of the aims of NESOL was to One of the aims of NESOL was for us to be able to assemble solar panels in Jamaica. And there's nothing that really stop us from doing that now when we're back in office.
So you are saying from 2014 you had the vision, you went to Cuba. And the Cuban,
one of the reasons why we started NESOL, yes.
And the Cubans are not up there, they have always been helping us. So you are saying that it is very likely that if we're going solar, we could build all those panels right here in Jamaica.
There should be no need for us to be importing panels anymore. It is simple technology and we can do it.
And with no disrespect, I am saying if Cuba can do it based on the embargo that is on Cuba, and they can build their own solar panel, then Lord man, what are we doing to ourselves?
We can more than do it. We can more than do it.
God has blessed us with sunshine 365.25 days per year.
And that is going to be the solution to our energy problem. And I'm looking forward to that. And I think your listeners should be excited by the prospect of a PNP government now taking back control of this important area that is going to contribute to growth in our economy that has eluded us for the last 9 years.
I was about to let you go, Comrade Paulwell, but something just came back to my mind. And I have to ask you about this because there's nobody in Jamaica that knows the energy portfolio more than you.
Thank you.
Tullow Oil, or what them name now? They don't name Tullow Oil no more.
Right, but we know who we're speaking about.
United Oil Company. What is happening with this oil find? Daryl Vaz tell us that not goes up. Is lie. And if it is going to happen, him are going to be the first one to tell us. But we have seen multiple communications from this company that is saying that Jamaica is looking good with oil. What can you tell us?
All right. So when I was minister, having looked over all the data that was available for 30 odd years, I decided that, as usual, we're going to take the plunge, we're going to take the risk. So I went out there and promoted Jamaica as a destination for prospecting for oil and gas.
Okay.
And I was the one who signed the agreement with Tullow Oil, which later became United Oil.
And
so
gas.
That agreement that they have is not with this current government. In fact, at the time, we were in discussion with another major company, because Tullow Oil is really not a major corporation. We were in touch with Repsol. And we were on the verge of signing a similar agreement with them when the government changed, and they lost interest because they were just not able to get anywhere with the negotiations. What I'm aware of, because in that agreement that I signed with Tullow Oil, the government of Jamaica wouldn't pay $1, but the company would commit to doing the remaining work, the gathering of data, and we're talking now of seismic data where you actually are able to take pictures of underground structures, undersea structures, and out of that be able to make certain inferences. And I'm aware of those additional data that have come in that show that if those underground structures that have been shown up in the seismic work, if they have oil and or gas in them, it will be substantial amounts. Now, you can't tell by just a seismic study how much oil or if there is oil or gas. But what we do have are structures that are present in Guyana, where they have had great finds, and elsewhere in the region, right? But the way the oil market is, or the way oil is established and remain underground is quite unique, because sometimes you can have seepage from one system to another system, and so it is not until you drill and go down there to determine whether you have commercial quantities that you know for sure. Now, that has not yet happened. So what we have are pictures showing the structures that exist underwater, but until you drill, which is my criticism now of this government, because that agreement that I had signed in 2015 mandated that drilling would have occurred within 5 years.
And that 5 years would have been passed already.
Long time. So on day one, when we resume office, we will say to United Oil, give us a date when you're going to drill, and if not, we will have to look now to see the terms of the license and how we are going to insist and enforce those terms to be activated, so that we can know for sure whether or not the potential that exists is real by actual drilling.
So what do you say to my listeners and viewers who have been seeing all these releases, and they say that they have 3D mapping and all of that, and Tullow Oil is United Oil and Gas is saying that what they need now is investors. We heard that they got a license. The party leader was questioning the minister in the parliament about a license from NEPA, which sounds like that license has already been granted.
No, trust me on this one, because I be the one who gave them the license. I want to make sure that they perform. And when you talk about 3D drawing,
mappings, yeah,
it's the same seismic.
It's the same seismic
that I just mentioned.
Okay.
Right? So what happens is that they just go and do, for simplification, pictures the technology now exists where you can do 3-dimensional photographs of undersea.
Yes.
And it will be able to give you depictions of what we call reservoir, because that's how the oil is naturally stored in the wells. And once you see those structures, you are very confident that something is there. But no drilling has occurred as yet.
Right.
So we can't say for sure that those structures represent commercial finds. It is not until we get back into office and we insist that the drilling takes place.
All right, so the releases that we are seeing from United Oil and Gas, they are not fake releases. They are true. Right, and it is coming from them. So why would the minister tell us that nothing like that pure lie? Why wouldn't you say like what you have said? They have done the testing and we're waiting on them to drill.
Yes, well, I don't even know if the government is aware or study the things sufficiently to be able to speak adequately on it. But it's a simple matter.
So maybe that's why I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, it's a simple matter. Based on the license that I granted, they have done the research. The research shows that there are structures underwater that have the potential of vast amount of oil and/or gas.
And we hear
the only way we're going to realize the potential is
if we drill. And we heard that those are not as deep as in Guyana; they are actually pretty shallow.
It is relatively shallow, based on other finds elsewhere, like Guyana, for sure.
Sir Paulwell, anything you want to say to my listeners and viewers before you leave us this morning?
Well, I'm actually heading to a funeral now out in the country, and I suspect we might lose a little of the.
Well, we're actually wrapping up. It's just if you have anything to say to them, finally, I am giving you that opportunity.
Of course.
Go ahead.
So we are about to have elections. Mr. Holness can't drag it out much longer. September is around the corner, and I don't think he would risk going into September. So we have to be on alert. We have to say to those persons who haven't voted for a while that this is an important election. One of the things that really has badly affected this country is the high cost of living, driven largely because of the high price of energy. The PNP, when we form government, if the people allow it, will put in place, we already have the plans to lower the cost of electricity and to focus on Jamaica growing once more, so that even if there is inflation, people's income will be increased sufficient for them to be able to take care of themselves and their family. Our intention is to build a middle-class society, and we have an opportunity now, and we're calling on everybody to support us as we go into this campaign.
Sir Paulwell, somebody's saying that they are doing core sampling. What is that?
We did for many years core sampling across Jamaica, and that's the reason why we are so confident that there will be deposits found once we drill. And it is really looking at the rock system, the rock structures, to see if by going down a certain distance you can pull out certain samples of the core to see if some of the features, what we call footprint towards discovery of oil and gas, is present. You're not going to know for sure
until you drill.
In Puerto Rico, music is life. Sometimes it's salsa, sometimes it's plena, sometimes it's reggaeton. If you can hear the music, you're invited to the party.
But it was not in commercial quantities.
And
until you get to drilling where you are able to strike gold, as it were, and find commercial quantities, you can't say that you are there.
And none of the 5 times were in this area that we are mapping, that we have mapped now.
No, these were different areas.
Okay.
And these like about 3 or so decades ago.
Okay. Sir Paulwell, I want to thank you very much. Safe travel on the road, my brother, and we'll be talking soon.
All the best.
Thanks much. Philip Paulwell, next Minister of Energy in Jamaica. And you hear the man. Now, let me tell you something. A whole heap of people can talk and run off their mouth. But none of them can claim the achievement that Philip Paulwell claimed. Nessal was destroyed under this government. Robbery. And Nessal got mashed up. You hear the man said Nessal was supposed to do for us to build our own solar panel. Yeah? It's been years that the structures have been confirmed. At one point, it was said that 42 billion barrels were under sea. Well, now they matter about 700 billion barrel, brother. So this area is much bigger. My only thing is why the present minister dismiss it so arrogantly that nothing, and then United Island Gas is out there touting the possibilities right here in Jamaica. I couldn't let Comrade Paulwell go without asking him about it. You hear the man say, him give them the license. And they should have drilled already. This government is incompetent. Incompetent. Everything when them get, they mess up on it. You can believe they have not done anything to renewable energy in Jamaica for the 2 terms that they have been there. I'm beating up the chest about what they do and what they have done. We can talk a lot about what they have not done, how they mess up the prospect of Jamaica, bringing down our energy bill. They have, in fact, remember, Andrew Wellness promised us that he would bring the large energy companies to Jamaica so as to lower our light bill. Instead, light bill double under Andrew Wellness. So we are saying to the people of Jamaica, the PNP will bring cheaper light bill to the people of Jamaica. Now, I have always known that I was paying for the man them with a thief light. I've always known. But I never know say at 20%. That's 1/5. Divide your light bill by 5. And that is the amount you are paying for people who are showing up. Jamaicans, we can't continue so. And then, oh God, I forget to ask him about the war between Iran and Israel. What is that going to do to our energy bill? Because that is also going to do something to our energy bill, you know. If I was in the studio, I would have it written down. So I would forget to ask him that. But Comrade Paulwell is at my fingertips. Every PNP is at my fingertips. Any PNP you don't want to talk to, we can get them on. Like so. Now, what it is that the labor rights are going to do going into the election, that they are running away from interviews. Because any GLP MP face me must willing to answer if he's one of the illicit 8. Got to ask. And I'm saying to all journalists, people in the 4th estate, you cannot be doing your job properly in an election season with a man saying going to be on the ballot and you don't clear him name to you. Jamaicans, any labor right that is a patriotic Jamaican that says that they are choosing Jamaica must ask, are you under investigation for illicit enrichment? That illicit enrichment that these people are under investigation for, you know, is my money, your money. How can a man be stealing from you? Yeah? I want to come to you and say, vote for me. Hey, let me tell you something. These labor rights are a set of traitor to Jamaica. Malcolm X says that any man who chose his weight behind a political party, and that party controls over 2/3 of the government, and they have failed to deliver on their promises, and you continue to support that administration, you are not just an invalid, but you are a traitor to your country. You are a traitor to your country. Call all of the labor right them. And me call them. When you hear them call me, no vex. And me tell them to call me. Call me. Let me talk back to head boy. Let me get back head boy upon the line. Yeah. Promise him I would call him back after I talk to Philip. So you make me get him. Because me I telling you right now. Oh, hold on. Me I telling you right now. Say the labor rights who are out there supporting Andrew Holness are a set of invalids. That me say. You are invalid. Yeah? You are a traitor to Jamaica. All of you. You are a traitor. If you're not asking Andrew Holness the questions. Head boy. Yes, man. Then I don't mean so. Malcolm X is so. And Malcolm X is so. Andrew Holness promised to bring the large energy companies to Jamaica to bring down our electricity bills. Where are you on that, Mr. Holness?
And by the way, remember he made this promise when energy had the largest volatility in the world. Remember, it was the same time Peter Phillips was thinking about putting in the edge on the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of what was happening with the fluctuation. Oil was $1.70 a barrel.
Yes.
$80 a barrel.
Yes.
$100 a barrel.
Yes.
Kept on fluctuating.
Yes.
He made those statements in a period when he knowingly knew that the world prices for fuel was fluctuating. Andrew Holness has presided over the most steady decline in the price of oil.
But and watch what happened. At that time, we were paying between 20 and 25 cents US per kilowatt hour.
Yes.
And now we are at between 40 cents and 50 cents per kilowatt hour. You're talking about almost 100% increase.
I know Philip couldn't say to you what some of the things that need to be said as to why there has been no push by this government toward solar. Remember the first thing the JLP did when they went into office, is Lawrence Paulwell, the managing director for Nesol, was charged having had over how much million, over $20 million in his house.
Yes, I remember that.
Right?
That case they try it?
Oh no. Because Lawrence Paulwell is alleged a cousin of Andrew Wheatley.
Tell him.
And I'm not saying alleged because I know Lawrence is from Jamesville in Northern Clarendon.
Hey,
yeah. A lot of that Nesal money was used to campaign in 2020 in Northern Clarendon and West Clarendon, both Richard Hassan and Horace Daly, particularly Horace Daly in Northern Clarendon. Yeah. So when they come and talk about they had no plan. The plan was to raid the institution that Paulwell set up so that we could have. Imagine, Colin, the powerhouse would be in regional green energy if we were to be manufacturing panels.
You know what the man said? The man said 2014, he took people from Nesal to Cuba to say to the Cubans, teach us how to make solar panels. Because that's why I ask the question, what would stop us from manufacturing our own solar panel to build out our schools, our hospitals in Jamaica?
Nothing.
Taking them off the grid, easing the pressure on the government. You know how much of that money would go back into the council fund? Because I want to do the research of how much we are paying, how much light bill we are paying for our schools first. We want to look at our schools first. Because remember, the school them close at a certain time at night, If we have solar upon our schools, so we could have put air conditioning in our classroom them.
Of course. And a lot of the uncomfortableness in terms of learning
Would have gone. Imagine if you can lock up the classroom them put air conditioning on them, the hotter the sun get, the more energy you have.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
But what you have to do, remember when you put these institutions on solar, and I know Comrade Paulwell spoke about it, what will happen now, is Paulwell himself, when he was Minister of Energy, did a clause in the license with JPS, which says that if there's renewables available, the JPS must buy the excess.
Yeah. Net billing. Yeah.
Net billing. You can actually sell back some of what you have in the excess energy. Imagine the government selling back energy to JPS. Yes, it would be a massive game changer for the entire country. Yeah?
Yes.
So I don't understand, but let me tell you something. You see, the Minister of Energy they have there from 2023, he is an absolute failure.
Garbage, man.
And you know the problem I have with people who don't go to school, and those who, and I'm not disrespecting people based upon, because you can never go to school and more competent. Yeah?
Yeah.
This man is incompetent at best.
And arrogant.
But here's the thing, hear the scandal.
What?
On God's earth, this minister needs to go. Minister of Transport Energy needs to go. How it is that Stuart Arthurs is who get the contract to bring in the 63 CNG buses.
What?
Yeah, no, it's Stuart Arthurs get the contract?
So, hold on. Is not the government bringing in the buses?
No, I've never, I know that nobody can, as I say, I am the de facto. I am the People's Minister of Transport. From I understand JUTC. Yeah?
Yeah.
The days of COLIN and Garnet over.
Yeah.
Always the board of JUTC, the chairman and the managing director, that are, and sometimes the minister, that fly to Belgium to meet with the suppliers.
So there's no middleman no unite.
There was never a middleman. So I need to understand why it is, and look at the conflict of interest. The two persons who posed in the photograph with the minister was the managing director and another lady, which the name should sound very familiar to you. Her name was Jacqueline Stewart Leacher.
Was she at SSL?
She was the FSC board person.
FSC, but she never did. FSC, yes. FSC.
When the debacle started, she was who gave the right for SSL to go back into business. Yeah?
No, hold on. Somebody at Brand Jamaica is saying, yes, Stuart Arthur brought in the buses. No, he's saying I the one them up at Portland.
No. It is the CNG buses that they brought in. Yeah?
Oh, what you said to me, boy? I never know that.
Yeah, it's the CNG buses that they brought in. Yeah?
You mean the 60 will come this week?
Yep. Remember, because that's I'm telling you what's happening. They test to see how they could get the private sector to do the first. Remember, I tell most of them won't go to the first bus of the donation from private sector.
Yes.
Yeah?
But that was not CNG bus. That was one of the used bus.
That was one of the US bus. But when
yeah.
they switch now, right? I am saying this is how these guys test the system. And then now they come to us telling us now that it's Stuart Arthurs bringing the bus. But that's what they published in the paper. That they see posing with the CNG buses. Yeah?
So why? And the labor rights them now ask them question why we are to have a middleman. So the 100 bus that came before, who brought in those?
Obviously those 100 were negotiated by the board. Remember when them buses coming up board, I don't even know how they come. As much as I don't give much credit to Bobby. You have to give some credit to both Bobby and Mike, because those are buses that they were previously negotiated with no middleman from their ministerial time. Yeah?
So you see when the middleman going at people, let me tell you no what. You see the middleman have to make a profit, have to be paid. Right? And when the middleman get paid, that is now some mix to get into illicit enrichment. Because when the middleman get paid, somebody get what is called kickback. Somebody said to the middleman, I am giving you this contract And from this contract, I want $1 billion. So work it out how you want. Me $1 billion. Hello.
I can tell you what I'm hearing. I am hearing East Portland campaign fund.
I'm
not going to say anything more because the lady you know speak of is very close to the member of parliament of East Portland. That's her body. That's her.
So we now have to ask these questions. Why the government never bring in them boss themselves? But you know the problem. You know the problem, Ed boy. No Labour right MP not going to talk to me. Then I'll go talk to Conrad O'Brien. Then I'll go over Andre Stevens. Then I'll go up Ratti. And Jeffrey, nobody think you'll get none neither. You're not get none. No, they will go over one place where one fatted man there. And he will not ask the pertinent question. If Dean Jackson Miller going to get an interview, they might tell him that we're not going to talk about this and we're not going to talk about that, and she will still take the interview. And if them
when ministers come as public servants, we need to cut out this nonsense.
No, hold on. Loan some can't even call them. So nobody write that here. Loan some can't even call them. You must be mad. Hey, me might just send a message and not get no response. Loan, they must have black loan some can't send a message. Hello.
Sing and skip and dance.
Tell them.
But on a serious note now, as we look, as I wrap up and look at this, move away from energy. I saw some energy in Northern Children yesterday, right? But
yeah.
I am telling you, but not in Southern Trelawney alone. I hear the Prime Minister was in Western St. Mary, Yale to be exact. And somebody called me. Nobody not tell me. Somebody called me and said, look here, looking at Yale too.
It's pure fake pictures. Those pictures are fake and lie. Not true. I have seen pictures and they are lie. They cannot be true.
Let me tell you something about the candidate they have in Western St. Mary. The people of Western St. Mary have been waiting for an Omar Woodbine for over 15 years.
Oh? Oh, yeah, sir.
Yeah?
Yes.
And more so over the last 10 years than anything else.
I can tell you though, boy. I go down there and I see the love that the people have for this man. You know who me see people are show love to that way there? Hubert Williams. The people of Western St. Thomas is showing a kind of love to Hubert Williams that I was expecting my Portlanders to show me. And the people were showing me too, you know. But down at Western St. Thomas and Western St. Mary, them two young men there, the people are gravitate to them. Like they are saying, they are saying, you are mine and I am yours. And that we see at Western St. Thomas and Western St. Mary.
And even Newell and even Christopher Brown as well.
Yeah.
You realize that there's similar traits across them. Right?
Yes.
Especially Hubert Williams and Omar Woodbine. Because they have been in the community with the people, they have provided jobs for the people.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
They have moved the young people. Yeah. So the young people know them. Let me tell you something that's happening in Jamaica now. You know that this is going to be almost a repeat of 1974. You know, in 1974, Jamaica saw the highest youth vote turnout.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me see about Willie. Willie must have one. Must have 80-inch TV on him veranda. In him yard. You know who watched that? The kids from the area. Them just go in at the man yard and just take it over. Him just put up a big screen TV out there for them and say, all right, I phone that.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's and that is why you see certain people running scared. That's why they're running so fast to cut ribbon and restart projects because they're trying to funnel money in these consequences.
Yes.
But what they don't know, Colin, is that the people have left them.
Yes. Yes.
I said to somebody the last election in 2020 was run on Andrew Holden, meaning Andrew Holden of the strength of.
No, it was run on his clerks.
Well, yes, and his clerks.
Yes.
But his persona, his own war was the meat of the election.
And you know what is going to happen? He's going to be one of the reasons why they lose, you know. He's going to be a big part of the reason. Yes. Yes.
He was plenty of strength. So look at it. Within 5 years, less than 5 years, yeah, of you voting for a man that was said to be more popular because the polls were saying this, they were trying to give him popularity more popularity than Porsche and Michael Manley.
Yes.
They were inventing him in 2020, you know.
Bro God.
No, bro God, and all of this flux is over, as they would say in certain places of the world. The marty, all the mob is all fraud, but no mob. Yeah?
Yes.
They just jump up and and make all this noise. And now the people of Jamaica see that this guy, he really don't have no. When you look at this thing, and JIS needs to be real with us, Stalin. Imagine a prime minister puts in his history, in what he expects in his future events, to be assassinated by a close friend. Huh?
What is that? I don't understand. What you just say?
Okay. Do you know that there is, when you have the high school, you know, when you have children going high school, at the end of the almost ending grade 11,
yeah,
they do a yearbook.
Yes.
With them.
Yes.
And they put what your pet name or your ambition is to become.
Yeah.
What the pet peeves people have about you and what you think might happen to you in the future.
Yeah.
Andrew Holden is this thing in St. Catherine High School yearbook. Put that he will be placed in it that he believes he'll be assassinated by a close friend, and he put his ambition to be a politician.
You see that yourself? You see that yourself?
I have seen it myself.
Send it to me, boy. I want to see that. Yeah. Celine Browning is saying, yes, it is in his yearbook.
It's in his yearbook.
Chala. Hold on.
So this guy is
Good as he's saying in Brown in Western St. Mary to build primary school.
Yes, that was what I was going to talk to you. Up in Jeffreytown, when he go up there, he promised the people in a deal, we're going to fix the school at Jeffreytown. The school in Jeffreytown has been in a deplorable condition for over 10 years now. Right? But why am I do that? It's because Jeffreytown falls in the Carnal division. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, let me give you more history. The candidate springs from Jeffreytown for the PNP.
Omar Woodbine?
Yeah? Omar Woodbine, yes. Remember, he's from the hills, you know.
Right? Yes.
And that's where his family background is from. So what I'm trying to do now is to see if they could do something in Jeffreytown because
to neutralize. So they might try and neutralize it, but it's too late. Hey boy, if Andrew, you see, all the way Andrew tried to this.
Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Why?
With Monday.com's intuitive work management platform.
I tell you. But they suffer the Jamaican people. Suffer them to now come to them and say, here I am to save you. And that's why we keep repeating the Bob Marley song from where they. We see them fighting for power, but they know not the power. So they come bribing. And Bob Marley said it on me. Him said they come bribing with their guns, spare parts, and money, trying to belittle your integrity. They say that what we know is only what they teach us. And then some laborites so ignorant that every time they can reach us through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you have to get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. The song is entitled Ambush in the Night. Go listen it from Bob Marley. Ed boy, a little more. Thanks for the call this morning, teaching the people them. Yes, man. Blessings. My people, it has been a morning of 2 shows because we have to sort out them trying to hack it and get at us. Yes, hot off the press as a copy of the yearbook page. Please, I'd love to see that myself. But then they say one prime minister head I go roll down whichever street, you know. Yeah. Bob Marley for national hero. May I tell you? That song is sassafras. Know the song all along, you know, but you know, sometimes we just play some song and dance, we don't listen deep. And sassafras said to me one day, youth, I rate you, you're brave and everything, but you have to listen to Ambush in the Night. And immediately I go listen to the song. Rotted. We see them fighting for power, but they know not the hour. See it, Andrew, fight for power. And every time him a fight for power, him say PNP power hungry. Desmond Mackenzie say now surrender Jamaica to the PNP ever again. And him say PNP are going like a PNP own Jamaica. You know, see say them man here a peer trick knowledge them I use. So they come bribing, running around the country now, come bribing. Some of them are carrying gun, spear parts, and money, trying to belittle your integrity. Then him your Andrew say, we uninformed. Is what Bob Marley say. They say that what we know is just what they teach us. So him feels that we are uninformed. But we are so ignorant that every time they can reach us, using this political strategy now, running up and down, breaking ground, trying to belittle our integrity. Up to 2024, 12,400 Jamaicans got murdered. But this year now, election year, they are telling us that under 700 people go and get murdered. Trying to belittle our integrity. Because every time they can reach us, through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you want to get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Ambush in the Night. I want to thank everybody for listening. Those of you who are on and come on back. You know, we're not in the studio this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yes, man, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, quickly, because I've been trying to get you from morning. There's two things I want to say to you, but first and foremost, right? I want to know how people like Marlon Morgan and the Prime Minister and his surrogates going to spin this, because I hear that the economy is doing well and it can't and all of these things. So my question to you, I was listening to the news and I see some of the public sector workers went to their meeting for wage bargain.
Brother.
So I am thinking here that if the economy is doing well, you're supposed to can offer me something in return.
For year one. For year one.
Can you put something and say you're going to give them 0%? Isn't it better you tell them say we can't give you anything instead of tell them they can give them 0%?
And then I don't like how it come on the news. Because it come on the news say an increase of 0%. What kind of garbage is that? What kind of garbage is that?
The economy is doing well, but yet you can't pay a person who are doing human service for your country.
That will show the people that Andrew Holness is a liar. Liar.
No, it's one of two things. I would say that. It's either he's lying or he does not care about the person, the people.
I don't say. Go ahead. Boom.
I would say he's not care about the people.
No.
That's the message I would say.
But he's lying to the people by telling us that the economy is doing well. He's lying to the people of Jamaica.
Wouldn't it be better to accept and come to the people and say, people, we are going through a difficult process, but what? Is it because of political expediency?
That's what you would expect, that they would come and be honest with the people and say that we are having a problem. We are having a problem, but because they've been running off their mouth, and when people like Ralston and myself keep saying to Jamaicans, Watch the trajectory of the economy. Stop listening to clowns. Listen to the numbers coming out of the Bank of Jamaica. Listen to the numbers coming out of Statting. Listen to the financial reports and listen to the number coming out of the stock market. And you will understand that the economy is failing. If we're not producing, my brother, you can't grow.
So what is Nigeria now is people are different than with this. I tell them no. When I'm on a position now, he can't say anything now. Look how Nigeria is talking now. When he was in that position, he wasn't looking at, because he realized that he can't go to the IMF with this kind of foolish behavior or this kind of nonsensical conversation. Now he's saying something that I hear Ralston have been saying. I've been listening to Financial Business for 106 for long. I've listened to Ralston for the last of years. But yet still, nobody can bring to the table to say what he's saying is false. That is what I can't understand, why the JLP narrative is more than I said, Ralston is this, that, and the PNP.
Yeah, but Carla, understand this. Ralston is this and that because him can't take on Ralston argument. I'm going to take our next call here. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Hello, good morning.
Morning, what's up?
Junior, what go on, bro?
Go on, here the achievements of your friend, you know.
Who that? Mike. Run it, Junior, run it.
Crime, corruption, COVID, and Clifton.
Clifton, you mean the bulldozing of the house?
The bulldozing of the houses. Achievement.
Those are the
corruption, COVID, and Clifton.
crime, COVID, corruption, and Clifton. All right, Junior, big up yourself.
One thing before I go.
Yes.
The reason why a much of JUTC was to buy 100 buses one time.
So a piece of food can eat. Tell her. Yes. Yeah.
Lastly, Malcolm X said, anytime you throw your weight.
They are in a political party. And they control 2/3. And they feel.
Can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time.
Yes.
And you're dumb enough to go around continuing to support that party. You're a traitor to your race.
Little more, Junior. Right there, so it there. Right there, so it there, my brother. So, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem with a man supporting his party. But when your party failing the country, you must choose Jamaica. And that is one thing I agree with the Labour Party. Choose Jamaica. And if you are choosing Jamaica, you cannot choose the man who can show away how him get so rich. I want to thank everybody this morning. It has been a rough show. It has been a very rough show this morning. With the technology and being out of the studio. It's been a rough show, but we got through it. So I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank Comrade Philip Paulwell for coming on this morning and showing the people of Jamaica who should be the next Minister of Energy and Technology. Philip Paulwell. A man with a record. All right, let me take one more before we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Colin.
Yes, morning.
That is why at the meeting, we need to focus on the JLP last prospectus and show the things that they have not achieved.
May I listen, your man?
Because what Malcolm X said can be highlighted in that way.
Yes.
Every time we have a meeting, I like the things that he has not achieved.
And quote Malcolm X. All right, my brother. Enough respect and thanks. Yeah.
I want to congratulate you to how you dealt with the JP guy last on Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
When he comes with you eat all for 6 weeks.
Yeah, man. We want them to come here. We want them to come here, you know, because when you scroll TikTok, them over TikTok I tell pure lie. And then the people them will watch them or follow them on TikTok don't have the facts. So when they come over here now and tell the lie, we debunk them right in front of them face and give them the truth. And when you give them the truth, and you say to them, because you remember one of them they tell me about me I give you that. Me say me no want nothing from you. It's either me I talk truth or me I tell lie. But we talk again. The thing don't sound so good. So me could talk again. All right. Yeah, man, we want them to come over here so we can beat up them ball. Because, as I tell you, Chris, labor right and truth no have no lot in our part. So when they come to Portland Spice TV, them ball get beat up. I know most of my listeners don't like here when Marl and Mar gonna talk, but we show the rubbish in our argument. You understand? Because when we ask him questions, him don't answer the questions. Him come with a talking point. And the people who follow this channel are all intelligent people. Except the trolls them will come to try disrupt and deflect. So Portland Spice TV should beat all of them ball. Portland Spice TV is not a PNP channel. You know. It's a channel for everybody. It's just that the host is a PNP. He's a member of the People's National Party. But for the last 54 years, I have been chosen Jamaica. So we put Jamaica first. So if PNP come in a power and a mess up like this, your Labour government, this year money I go beat them bad. So I want PNP to know that. Me not go come by here, come tell no lie for PNP. So PNP who are plan for farm government better know that this same whip will over the Labour right back. If them come under the rubbish, this same whip will be over their back. I have beaten them before. And that's why certain man not like I. And I now look no likings from the guy. I pray to Jesus Christ. And that's where I look my favors from. Because if you are the leader and you're not lead, if you are the MP and you're not deliver, if you are the councillor and you're not deliver, I am going to call you out. So when you war me, God you war. So if you war me and you think you win, hey, Eternal say they think that they have won, but we are all a meditation. Tell you that. So, my people, I want to thank you now again. Thank Philip Paulwell and thank Head Boy for the school. Yeah, man. Michael Manley said the leader should stay close to the people and be humble. Be humble, sir. So, thank everybody. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you have not gotten anybody to subscribe to the channel for me, I'm asking you to become a Portland Spice ambassador. Share the channel with everybody in your link. Yeah? And ask them to subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. I would love to get there before Tuesday. One love, my people. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet again, peace, one love.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans ayard and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
See for yourself.
you are going to come under some pressure. You're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. There will be tactics used to try and buy you out. There will be tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades. And we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural Reconnection Rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
See for yourself.
come under some pressure. You're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. There will be tactics used to try and buy you out. There will be tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades. And we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm. We will not be bought because we are not for sale.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
See for yourself.
The Prime Minister just needs to fly the gate. Call it Andrew, call it, and Iman will sound the trumpet.
Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
Daryl Vaz, Jamaica will not sit with you and Christopherton and Floyd Green and Colonel Charles Jr. and Fairval and Dana Morris and Matthew Samuda. Who going to stick with the evil? Who going to stick with them thief ya? Who going to stick with the thief them Jamaica? Who going to stick with them scammer ya? And as a matter of fact, Daryl, what do you mean by people bad mind? Daryl, what do you mean by people bad mind? Bad mind you for what? You have no good antecedents for people to bad mind you on. Your history is not one where anyone would have wanted to bad mind you, Daryl. I'm asking you again, what is there to bad mind when our hospitals are like chicken coops? What is there to bad mind when our water is filled with E. coli and shit and dirty water? People can't drink healthy water again. What is there to bad mind when the road them full of pothole?
What can go so?
What is there to bad mind? We can't bad mind you know. Jamaica needs to be rescued. Jamaica needs to be rescued, Daryl. From you, Wellness Clan, Vaz Clan, Charles Clan, all of them sort of clan there. And when you're done, you think Jamaica want to stick with a politician, where one ex-politician, what's money? $20 million another company, media can say in all the people then.
Help, help. We out of the rhetoric.
We need a divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. So when I see you come, Daryl, we're tired of the murderer over the Labour Party. We're tired of the rapists them and the pedophiles and the sex offenders in the Labour Party. We're tired of the scammers them. We're tired of the chopper them. We're tired of the you know what? Jamaica, we're not tired of them. I want to ask you. We're tired of the woman beater them. So when you're going to talk about stick to the evil way you know, I want to tell you, I can't stick with a government that has not built one school in 9 years. I can't stick with a government that hides the water sampling from its people because they know that the E. coli is in the water. Why do you think Harmony Beach in Montego Bay can't be open? Because it is filled with E. coli. But we understand so your vocabulary is limited to bad mind because you and your wife, when it comes down to the vocabulary and the lexicon, you don't really understand that, you know.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica. The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
See for yourself.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.